I mean, let's be real. Hell, I can even see it myself in a way. As much as I hate to say it, and I'm probably, people are gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But the whole topic thing of, backyard wrestling dying, is backyard wrestling slowly dying? Being honest, like it kind of is in a way. It's slowly dying. Only because I say that, it's because, as what a buddy of mine that I know stated, he was on a search, trying to search for other federations, not a lot of people know like that, or just a federation in general that that hasn't been out there like other federations like BXW, 3BW, CHW, and so on and so forth. It's kind of true what he said, because when you try to look for any kind of other federation, newer federations, even regardless, all there is literally you will get the same search response constantly, that there would be CHW, HDW, the same old federations, that are like long gone retired. I mean, besides HDW, but you get what I'm saying. Literally, you have all those federations from the GBYW times, and if you look at that era, and even the Link era, there were so many awesome moments, so many crazy matches and shit that were pulled off by these guys who are now, in the pro leagues now. Those guys are literally the biggest reason why backyard wrestling was so popular at the time, and it made it feel cool to be a backyard wrestler and do backyard wrestling again. Which, granted, now it's entirely different, which I completely understand, because I mean we live in a day and age where not a lot of people are really into backyard wrestling that much as it used to be big back then. And I mean, it's still kind of big now regardless, but at the same time, I mean, if you look at the GBHS stuff, I mean, we're trying our best to get everything back the way it was, and hell, even try to get other federations from other countries and whatnot. But I really don't know what it is. I feel like it's got to be something involved with the whole YouTube thing, because let's be real, like we all know that YouTube hates backyard wrestling, regardless. And I mean, they have other fucking wrestling promotions that is not a backyard. Like federations like ESW, 2KW. People should definitely need to take notes on these two feds. These are a federation where they started off with, they had no base, no ring. You just go out there, do your match. That's the kind of shit I'm used to doing. You just go out there, do a match, pull off a good match and whatnot. Then you see where it goes on from there. Nowadays, and I completely understand it. I respect it. Nowadays, a lot of backyarders, when they see backyard wrestling now, they're expecting something major, like coming out from an actual professional wrestling show or whatnot. Like, all right, we got to get a base. All right, we got to get a base, make sure everything's set up or for example, or seeing people doing trampoline wrestling or whatnot. I don't mean to do this to people, but a lot of guys who been around, especially that GBYW1 era, and hell, maybe even the Link era, there's a lot of backyarders who started off as a trampoline wrestler. There's a lot of them, and we know that. And as much as some will probably want to act like they want to deny the whole thing, there's a lot of people who started in the backyard wrestling thing on trampoline or on ground before they even went to the whole base section or a ring or whatnot. And as much as I'm not trying to shit on anybody, regardless, who hates the whole fact about people wrestling on trampoline, and I completely understand it. I completely get it. It's less believable. It's less real, especially when you're slamming your opponent and you're bouncing and everything. Regardless, I completely understand. But sometimes people gotta have fun with it, and if you can't have fun with it while you're doing something, then something's really wrong. And I feel like that's the problem with backyard wrestling in general now. And I feel like I have to bring this out here because this is true. And hell, it can go good, it could go bad, you may never know. It's the way how you're gonna move, how the way you're gonna do the whole story to it, the whole concept of it. It's gonna get to a point where, you know, people are gonna look at backyard wrestling and be like, it's literally just a memory now. And you know, if that, you know, and as times come, we may not ever see backyard wrestling ever again. I mean, let's be real. There's not a lot of people from up and newcomers. There's really not a lot of like new federations out there. There really isn't. And the ones that have been around recently, have been around for a good couple years, for like past, you know, 5-6 years, is, you know, guys like HEW, AVWA, you know, other federations that are now into the whole GBXN thing. Other than that, like, I really don't see what's going to be progress. Because, I mean, once GBXN is done and over with, what is there going to be really left? I mean, besides seeing, you know, former Fed backyarders and old videos of debunked federations on YouTube, or seeing constantly new backyarders on trampoline. And regardless, yes, you know, it's less believable. But you know what? Sometimes it's best to actually try to support them. You know, if they're going to be a trampoline wrestling, like I said, use your technician skills. Don't just sit there and try to like just do constant wrestling slams or whatever. Because you know what? There's so many styles of wrestling, and you know, and you can literally make trampoline wrestling work. It's just a certain styles that you bring into it. Like I said, hardcore style, or even with technician style, constant grapples, counter after counter, that can work. It's like I said, it's the way you play it out. It's not really all about slamming a person on the mat, whatever, or bouncing around and shit. There's so many ways you can do it, and I feel like not a lot of people see it.